Okay, good Erev Shabbos, Rabbi Isai. Great to see everyone. So usually, I start off this year by saying, fasten your seatbelts, this is your favorite time of the week. And I'm going to do that now also. Everyone fasten your seatbelts, it's your favorite time of the week. But we're not going to do impondables this week. Why? I'm going to let you ponder that for the whole week. Why we're not doing impondables this week. I'll let you think about that. I can't reveal all the reasons, but I do want to share with you a letter of the Chofetz Chaim that really blew me away on an episode in this week's Parsha, and I think it's very timely, and I think it's an eye-opening presentation on a story that takes place in this week's Parsha. This comes from the letters of the Chofetz Chaim, and it's a maimar of Chizuk Ha'emunah. And the Chofetz Chaim discusses the opening episode of this week's Parsha, where God sends three angels to Avram Avinu, one to destroy Sodom, one to heal Avram, and one, of course, to give the good report that Sarah was destined to have a child in 1 year. And Avraham Avinu was so grateful his whole life. He was yearning, he was praying to be able to have a continuity, to continue his legacy. And V'Sarah Shaimas Pesach Ha'el V'hu Acharav V'Avraham V'Sarah Zekenim Ba'yim Ba'yamim Chadali Ois L'Sarah Oirach Kanashim. And what was Sarah's reaction? V'Titzchak Sarah B'Kirba Leimar Acharei V'Loisi Hoisali Adna V'Adoi Nizakein. Now this ain't happening. Sarah laughed. Sarah laughed. She was incredulous. She really didn't believe, to some extent. And the Rebbeinu Shalom comes and he remonstrates with Abraham. Lama zeh tzachaka Sarah leimar ha'afum na'am eleid v'anizakanti. Why did Sarah laugh? So Avram says to Sarah, why'd you laugh? Vayomer loy tzachakt ki yareh. She said, I didn't laugh. She said, I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you accusing me? I wasn't laughing, because she was afraid to say she was laughing. Vayomer loy ki tzachakt. And according to some, God said to Sarah, no, you laughed. What's this whole story about? What's this all about? Just say the story that God sent angels to tell Sarah that she's going to have a kid. And sure enough, a year later, she has a kid. Why do we need to know? Why does the Torah say Sarah laughed? Do you think that reflects well on her? You think it reflects well on Sarah? I mean, I know you're going to ask, so it's Lashon Hara. Of course it's Lashon Hara. But the Torah is allowed to speak. Torah is allowed to say the truth. We're not allowed to speak Lashon Hara, because we'll exaggerate. The Torah is allowed to say, but there's no question, this is not a nice thing to say about Sarah. Why do we need to know it? And then the whole back and forth where Hashem asks Abraham, why did Sarah laugh? Is that Rechilos? No, the Rebbeinu Shalom is allowed to tell the truth. And Abraham says, why'd you laugh? And she says, I didn't laugh. What do you mean? But she did laugh. And then Hashem comes and, no, you laughed. Well, why does the Torah record this? This is too much information. Too much information over here. And the Chofetz Chaim says, I want to read to you some of his words. I want to thank my friend Rabbi David Brownstein for sending this to me. V'chasher hisbainanti heitev b'parshazu kashali tuva. Says the Chofetz Chaim, I contemplated this parsha and I'm very troubled. Hine yadua l'chol, everybody knows that the most expensive real estate in the world are the words of the Torah. Ki kol teva v'teva. Each and every word, I'll make it bigger for you. Ki kol teva v'teva. Me'tarasenu hakdosha, kedushasa gedoyla l'moed. Its holiness is very great. Ad ein shir ve'erach. There's no estimation. Ve'ein ois v'teva me'tarasenu hakdosha shetehei yisera. There's no letter or word that's extra. V'kulan menuyos usfuros. They're all counted from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the giver of the Torah. V'alkein l'chayra yipla. Therefore, l'chayra, it's a wonder. Lama la l'tarasenu hakdosha l'harach kol kach b'sipur hazeh. Why does the Torah speak at such length about this story. Ulasaper begnusa shel Sarimenu, and to disparage Sarah. Loimar shahoisa miktani amana, to say, nah, Sarah didn't really have emunah. She didn't believe the words of the Malach. And the whole conversation between Abraham and Sarah, she says, she didn't laugh. He said, he laughed. It's very difficult to understand this story at face value. Va'amarti, says the Chofetz Chaim, I said, Bevadai eze inyan gadol nirmaz v'parshazu. There's no question that a great matter is alluded to in this story. Ad sheheir Hashem einai levayer ha'inyan hazeh, until God illuminated my eyes, and this I begin with Hashem's help. Says the Chofetz Chaim, Masei avos simin labanim. The actions of our forefathers are a portent to their children. We find that whatever happened to our forefathers happens to us. Says the Chofetz Chaim, this story is our story. This story is the story of the Jewish people in the exile, where Moshiach is coming very close. And when Moshiach is headed and is coming close, so the leaders of the Jewish people, the Talmidei Chachamim, the Gedolim, are going to encourage us to mechazik in Amunah, that we should do tshuva. Like Chazal say, Kalu kol hakitzin. And the matter is only dependent on tshuva. Says the Chofetz Chaim. And people are going to say, yeah, Mashiach is coming. Of course, ani mamin be'amunah shalema bevias haMashiach. But if you ask a Jew, when do you think Mashiach is coming? Mashiach? Well, first, about like 2.5 years. Because first the war has to be over. Then I got to find a buyer on my house. Then I got to liquidate all my assets. Then I got to finish painting the ceiling. There's a little bit of a leak in the ceiling. I got to finish painting the ceiling. This way I get a really good price. And just about then I think Moshiach is going to come. Do you think Moshiach is coming today? Not really. But he might come today. Isn't the halacha that if somebody says, Hareini Nazir b'yom sheben David ba, if somebody says, I will be a Nazir on the day that King David comes, you can't drink wine your whole life because he might come today. Except for Erev Shabbos, because people are busy making cholent. Mashiach doesn't come Erev Shabbos. People are too busy with the cholent. But isn't that the halacha? Yeah, of course it's the halacha. Do you think he's coming today? Come on, between me and you, he's not coming today. I told you already, he's coming in 2.5 years. It's the same thing in Mitzrayim. When Moshe Rabbeinu came and he said, the Lord's taking you out. So the people didn't believe. Lo shamu el Moshe mikoitza ruach me'avodah kasha. The people did not have the emotional wherewithal. Dr. Gudnick, maybe they had PTSD. They had too much trauma to believe that Mashiach was coming. They didn't think it was...
The rabbi, if you can hear me, said, that's why I have my suitcase ready to go in my closet.
Oh, very good.
Instead of clothing, full packed, really, fully packed and ready to go, pick up and run to Israel.
Beautiful. But most people...
So I just show Hashem, I really believe what you're saying, believe what I'm saying every day. They want Mashiach now. You got to do something physical to do it, because we just say it every day. Do we really mean it? That's how I say, in case myself ready to go anymore.
So we say in the Gemara tells us, Hayoim in B'koiloi Sishmo, that when is Mashiach coming? He could come today, if you do tshuva. And the truth is, it is incumbent upon every single Jew to wake up in the morning and say, Ribbanu Shalom, I'm doing tshuva now, Chatasi, Avisi, Pashati Lefanecha, and I return to you, B'chal Lev u'B'chal Nefesh, and I'm prepared now for Mashiach to come. At least once a day, a person needs to say, Ribbanu Shalom, I am returning to you with all of my heart. I'm preparing myself for Mashiach. But do we do that? We don't do it. You know why we don't do it? Because even though we hear Mashiach could come, but we laughed. We laugh like Sarah. We're incredulous. How could it come? 2,000 years, it's going to come today. But the Navi tells us that Pisoim Yavai Ha'adain Asher Atem Mevakshim. When Mashiach comes, it comes suddenly. It comes suddenly. He just shows up. You know what happened in the Purim story? The Jewish people were about to be annihilated. And Mordechai tells Esther, go into Achashverosh. And in 48 hours, Haman's hanging. The whole story switched just like that. Do we believe that in 48 hours, the world, the destiny of the Jewish people could change on a dime? Are we ready? Pisay miyavai. Do we prepare ourselves every day to be muchan b'tshuva? We don't. You know why? Because we laugh. Of course we believe. Sarah believed. It's not like Sarah didn't think God can't give her a child, but she gave a little chuckle. She laughed. In her mind, she believed. Actually, if we would have seen Sarah's heart, we would have said, yes, she believed. But according to the greatness of Sarah, the Ribbon Shalom looked into the heart of Sarah and saw she was capable of greater emunah. So Sarah says, I didn't laugh. But Sarah laughed. And Hashem says to Avram, why'd she laugh? And Avram says to Sarah, why'd you laugh? And Sarah says, I didn't laugh. And the Ribbon Shalom says, you laughed. And the question is, when Mashiach comes, and the Ribbon Shalom asks us, were you ready for me? Did you prepare for me? Right now, we learn from Parshas Vayeira. Parshas Vayeira is challenging us. The Ribbon Shalom is going to ask us, why'd you laugh? And we're going to say, we didn't laugh. What do you mean? We sang, Ani mamin be'emunah shalem v'vias HaMashiach. Says Ribbon Shalom, really? I know you sang those words. But did you prepare yourself every day b'tshuva? You didn't? You know why? Because you laughed. Why'd you laugh? You didn't think I could come any minute? But now, we're not going to laugh. Now we understand. Hayipale me Hashem davar. La mo'ed ashavay lecha. We're not laughing anymore. We're not laughing. Every single day, we're going to take aside a moment. We're going to say, Ribbon Shalom, I return to you. I'm preparing myself for the coming of Mashiach. And the Satan's going to come to us and say, no, why'd you laugh? We're going to say, we didn't. We didn't laugh. Don't tell me I laughed. I prepared myself. I was waiting. I was ready. That's the lesson. That's the lesson of the opening of this week's Parsha. And if we could segue back into Davar Yafa B'itai, Chodesh Cheshvan, you think it's a coincidence that we're reading this in Chodesh Cheshvan? Chodesh Cheshvan is the month of the inauguration of the third Beis HaMikdash. This month we better be prepared and we better ready ourselves not to laugh, because this is the month it's going to happen. So that when the Kichra comes and say, why'd you laugh? We didn't laugh. We prepared ourselves. We length every year in this month, the month of the inauguration of the third Beis HaMikdash. We read the Parsha of Sarah. We learned our lesson. We're not laughing. The only thing we're laughing at is Oz Yimale Schaik Pinu O Shainenu Rina. We'll laugh. Oz Yimale Schaik Pinu at the coming of the Geula. Okay, that is the approach of the Chofetz Chaim to the story of the laughing of Sarah Imenu.